Learning Objective E, we're going to understand logs and exponential graphs as being inverses, and then state the domains and range and asymptotes of them. Now I want you to first look at, let's highlight f of x here, which is y equals 2x. I'm going to actually write that down. And that is the dark blue line or curve that we see. Then we see this light blue line, and that's just the equation y equals x. Well, we know if we take this blue graph and flip it over this light blue graph, we will get its inverse function. So what they're saying is that this one right here is the inverse of it. And if I rewrite that, this would be y equals the log base 2 of x. I want to show you that they are inverses of each other. So I'm going to take the original exponential equation here and find its inverse mathematically. Well, to do that, just flip x and y. So I'm going to make the y the x and the x the y. Now I need to solve for y. Well, the only way to get y out of the exponent is to make it a logarithm. So what you do is you say it's exponent base 2. Well, it becomes log base 2 of x equals y. So log base 2 of x equals y. And what you're going to notice, this is the same equation as the inverse over here. So exponents and logarithms are inverses of each other. Now, let's just talk about the domain, range, and asymptotes of just the logarithmic function here. They're highlighting it right here. The domain, remember that's just the x values, is a set of all positive reals. So it's the positive reals, not including 0, because what's happening here, there's actually an asymptote, a vertical asymptote right there, and that's highlighted right here. It says that the y-axis in this case is a vertical asymptote for the graph. Therefore, this asymptote is identifying and changing my domain just to be the positive real numbers, not including 0. Now the range is just how tall and how low it can go. This graph is going to go very, very low on the negative y's, and it's still going to crawl up here on the positive y's, but pretty slowly. The range is just a set of all reals. The graph does include the point 1, 0. It is considered strictly increasing, and all that means is as you read it from left to right, the graph gets larger and larger, not at a really fast rate, but it is increasing. It also says here the end behavior. As x gets larger, it increases without bound. Well, the x's get larger going this way, and if we follow the blue graph, we can tell it gets larger, and they're saying increases without bound means it works its way towards positive infinity. It's just going to take its time and be pretty slow though. Then it says the backwards of that, as x gets smaller, which means it goes this way on the x's, you're going to see here that it approaches 0. Again, I was telling you this blue graph approaches this asymptote, but it never quite hit 0.